Welcome back to the BB podcast. Today we're joined by Sean again, and we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs. A couple quick reminders. One being, thank you for all your support. I really appreciate every single view, every single like, every time one of you watches one of my videos or shorts. Just a reminder that we upload 3 or 4 YouTube shorts a week, so go make sure to check those out. And we got a new webcam, so hopefully the visual issues we were having before will be resolved. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about every single game that's happened so far in every series of the playoffs, and we're going to start with the Bucks and Heat. Really, story of the game was Jimmy Buckets and Giannis being hurt and Tyler Hero being hurt. Do you hear about that?
Yeah. Tyler Hero was not that big of an injury compared to Giannis though.
That's true because Tyler Hero does have a lot of impact for the Heat, but Giannis is the only player they really have to rely on all the time. So
No, Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday is reliable, but without Giannis, they can double him and he's gonna be less effective. But I agree. Giannis is hurt. They really haven't came out with a injury designation yet. We know that Giannis obviously is such a great player and means so much to that team. And if he's out for the whole series, it's going to be really tough for the Milwaukee Bucks to win because he's such an important player and significant player. And Tyler Hero is a big player for the Heat. But the one thing the Heat had that the Bucks didn't in this game was their bench. The Kevin Love and Caleb Martin really stepped up. And Kevin Love, look, I know he's a shell of himself, but he looked really good in that game. They both scored over 10 points and contributed a lot. The problem with the Bucks is the Bucks bench really didn't show up like the Heat's bench, and that's what you're seeing in many of these series, as we'll talk about. The team's bench just doesn't perform, and they end up losing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think the Bucks can win with Giannis being out for a whole series?
No.
I mean, it is against the Miami Heat. But it is also worrisome, even if Giannis is healthy. When Giannis was healthy, the Heat was still handling the Bucks really well. And that brings up the discussion, if the Bucks do win the series, how far are they going to go? It seemed like towards the end of the season, towards the last month, they haven't been as great as they were a couple months ago. But that's all up for discussion. And again, we don't really know, obviously, what's going to happen. We're just giving some perspective. But yeah. And this is the game I think you want to talk about the most, the Celtics and Hawks game. My brother's a big Celtics fan. Do you want to start off?
No, you can.
Okay. The Hawks, this is what I wrote down. This is my opinion. I don't think the Hawks stand a chance, obviously.
No.
They don't have the talent that the Celtics do. The one thing I do have to say, though, is the Celtics coach, Joe Mazzulla, made a lot of questionable decisions, in my opinion. My dad brought this up, too. But Grant and Pritchard didn't play. Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard didn't play. They were up by a lot of points too, 30 or more, and they didn't get any minutes, which is worrisome to me because they're great role players, and you might need to go to them in some situations if your players are in foul trouble, or you want them to go in because people are underperforming, and if they're not getting that experience, they're not going to be helping out that much. It's also worrisome that the Celtics were up by 30 and they won by 13.
Yeah. If you have a deep bench, use it.
Yeah, I know. And they have a deep bench. They were playing Sam Hauser. No disrespect to Sam Hauser. He's great. Great three-point shooter. He wasn't hitting his shots. You would think Mazzulla would try putting in Grant Williams a little bit. But I don't know. I'm not the coach. I don't know what's going through their head. I don't know what's happening in practice. But I don't know. If I'm the coach, I think I'd play those two players. I feel bad for Peyton Pritchard, too, because he's such a good player, and every time he plays, you see how good he can really be. And he gets no minutes because he's on one of the best teams in the league. My hope for him is he ventures to another team, maybe a rebuilding team like the Spurs, Rockets, something like that, and he gets more minutes and can really show what he can do in the NBA because he has so much unlocked potential. And if you're the Hawks, I really don't know. There was trade rumors for Trae Young early in the season. He shot 33% from 3-point range, which is horrible. That is horrible for a point guard, horrible for him since he was so dominant in his first couple years, and now is really just like plateauing off. He might even be becoming worse. Honestly, he's still averaging points, just not on the efficiency you need him to. And in that game, he was not good either. DeJounte Murray stole the show. It wasn't much of a show to steal because they got crushed. But if you're Atlanta Hawks fans, you gotta. I think John Collins has to go. You really gotta retool your team to win games and be able to win playoff games and win series.
If they can get anything for Trae Young, I think they have to try to get him off the team.
Every year, if he continues to be like this, he's just going to lose value. So you need to get him off now when he still has value. Or if you're confident and you want to stick by him, then you add more players that can help around him. I thought DeJounte Murray was a good addition. It's just not working out to the best possibility that the Hawks hoped it would. Yeah. And moving on, the next game we're going to talk about is the Philadelphia Sixers and the Brooklyn Nets. There's not much of a story here, in my opinion. The Sixers have too much talent compared to the Nets, and that's kind of what the story is going to be the whole series. Maybe the Nets steal a game. I don't think the Brooklyn Nets fans or the organization is expecting a win in the series here. There is bright spots in the team, such as Mikal Bridges, who, after being traded from the Phoenix Suns, has looked incredible. And the Sixers personally are my favorite, my favorite at the start of the playoffs to make the finals, because Joel Embiid can't be stopped. Harden has so much intelligence. I don't know if people recognize this, but Harden is such a smart player. He makes good passes. He knows where to shoot. He had a couple of nasty plays where he made people go the other way and just nailed shots. And I really want him to go far. I think it's their year. A lot of pressure is on Embiid and Harden to go far because they haven't made it to the finals yet. Yeah. And if you're Nets fans, there's still a lot to look forward to. Mikal is a great. He's great. He's young. He can improve. He seems like he's getting better and better every game. And you just gotta add more pieces, and keep working on it. Because right now, obviously, you got a ton of wins from Kyrie and KD. Without those players, you probably wouldn't have made the playoffs. But keep working on it, and you do have a bright future.
I mean, you can't expect them to beat one of the best teams in the league when you traded away your big three.
Yeah, and it's also tough because they got the Sixers round one, which isn't a great matchup because Nick Claxton is great and all, but he can't guard Joel Embiid. I think that would have been a lot better if they were going up against good guard play, because Mikal Bridges is a good perimeter defender and one of the better defenders, top 10 in the league. But again, you can't control what happens in playoff time, and it's just unlucky for the Brooklyn Nets. But I think there's still a chance. There's always a chance. You can never count a team out, but I think the organization, the fans should be looking towards next season, seeing what they can do to better the team. And Sixers fans, just keep cheering your team on. I have high expectations. I think you're going to go really far. You added PJ Tucker, which I think is a great add, and he can grow crazy in some games. You've seen it against the Celtics. He had like 1,000,000 threes to win them the game. But yeah, this was another interesting game. Cavs and Knicks. It was really close the whole game. And one big takeaway I had from it is Darius Garland really needs to step up. His potential is so high. He can play make, we know that, but he has to step up on the scoring end of things. Donovan Mitchell kind of took over the whole game. Just so you know, the Cavs did lose this game. The Knicks won, I think, by 3 or around there. It was very close. But Darius Garland really needs to step up on the scoring end because Donovan Mitchell can't carry them in scoring. They have great other players such as Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, that can make plays as well. Jared Allen is one of the best defenders in the league, as well as Evan Mobley. And I think they really have to utilize that because the Knicks have, Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle down there, who they're decent rim protectors, but I think you should be able to score in the paint a little bit more. And Jared Allen and Evan Mobley didn't seem like they did a lot of that. But Donovan Mitchell looked really good, as he always does. But I hope it's not another Utah situation where Donovan Mitchell is trying to carry his team in the playoffs. Just doesn't go well. because I was really high on the Cavs at the start of the season, and
Yeah.
I think they're one of the teams that can go far.
I'm just gonna predict they're gonna need like a year or maybe two to develop the
Mhm.
Cavs, and they're gonna be a lot better.
Yeah, they just got to make sure they keep everyone
'Cause
under contract.
They're also pretty young, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're pretty young. Yeah, pretty much like their four main players. Donovan Mitchell's getting like towards like not old, but you know what I mean. But everyone
Yeah.
else is really young. And Jared Allen's a little towards there too, but they're all like under 30, like they're young. Yeah. If you're the Knicks and you want to win this series, you have to rely on your guards to win it. And then that's my personal opinion because Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell aren't great perimeter defenders, and they're short for like their size in the NBA. So you really have to rely on Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel quickly and these players to score a lot and get to the hoop. The problem with that is Jalen Brunson did amazing, but quickly was really quiet the whole game. I think he only had like 2 or 4 points, and he looked so good at the end of the year, and he was such a great spark plug off their bench. So you just really need him to continue that production. And again, everyone has an off game. I'm not saying quickly is going to be like this for the whole series. I'm just saying you need him to be good to win the series. And I would say Cavs definitely have the advantage in the paint, as I said before. And they need the one advantage the Cavaliers do have is on offense. They have the Knicks guards can't guard really well, and the Knicks like paint. Like power forward and center, they can defend decent, and they're decent rim protectors, but you can still score there. So I think the Cavs definitely have the advantage on the offensive end. Okay. Next, I don't even know if we should call it a series. It's more gonna be like a comedic show, honestly, because the Joker. No, okay, but the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. This isn't even much of a series in my opinion because the Nuggets are just going to dominate the Timberwolves, it seems like the whole time. It just comes down to talent, and the Nuggets have way more of that than the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even close. The Nuggets won by like over 20. This is just going to be a 4-game series, in my opinion. The problem with the Timberwolves is, like Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns together is not working. It hasn't worked the whole year. They traded D'Angelo Russell. They traded a bunch of players for like some pick equity back, not even that much, and they lost a lot of pick equity, and their future is looking pretty bad because of it. You still have Anthony Edwards, who you're gonna have to rely on a lot in the future because he's could be one of the best players in the league in a few years, to be honest. But it's just tough right now because they have no pick equity whatsoever. The thing that did scare me a little bit when looking at the game was the Nuggets' depth. They have a great starting 6, but don't have much, which can really like help them off the bench. Bruce Brown did good off the bench, but everyone else just didn't do good at all, and that can really hurt you when you're going up against like better depth teams such as the Boston Celtics and other teams, because you can't have if like the Celtics are playing hard the whole game, your players are gonna get tired, and you sub in players who can't compete with the players off the bench of the Celtics. You know what I mean? Bones Highland really has to step up as well. He's one of my favorite players, and he's a great scorer, and he did not do that great.
Yeah. I bet you aren't happy about that.
Yeah, but no, everyone has bad games, as I said before. This is one game through. I mean, this series is over, but, you know. Next up, I'm going to be talking a lot about this because it's my favorite team. The Lakers versus the Grizzlies, baby. They doubted us, man. They doubted us. No one thought we had a chance. No, I'm kidding. At the start of the season, I'm talking about. Now everyone's like, oh, we love the Lakers. But at the start of the season, I believed them. No one thought they had a chance. We made some trades, and look where we are now, man. We're doing amazing. But Lakers beat the Grizzlies by like 15. It was a close game the whole time. At the end, we just ran away with it. We just ran away a couple fast breaks, and it was over. Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura stole the whole show. I think Austin Reeves had like 23, and Rui Hachimura had 28. Rui couldn't miss. I watched the whole game. Every single time he got the ball and shot, I'm like, okay, he's made too much. It's not going in. And then it went in every time. I was like going crazy. I was like, let him cook, because he was so good. He tied the Lakers record of points coming off the bench in a playoff game. It was incredible. And Austin Reeves has been good the whole after the All-Star break. He's been amazing, and he's continuing that. Now, one big scare during the game was Anthony Davis got hurt and he couldn't move his arm. But that was when like halftime hit. I was pretty upset because I thought the game and maybe the series was over because he was gonna be out. But then I turned on the TV after halftime, and he's playing again. So
The thing about the Lakers was when LeBron was out for like 2 or 3 minutes, the Grizzlies could just double Anthony Davis, and they could get away with it too.
That's a great point.
The whole Lakers team was just like standing at the 3-point line, not really doing anything.
Yeah, the broadcasters were like, you have to cut too.
Yeah.
And that's a scare too. I think Darvin Ham did address that, the coach of the Lakers, and we were doing better off the ball, but that is an issue, and that's a great point. The one big thing is Ja Morant. When going in for a drive, Anthony Davis took a charge and he fell down on the ground, and we don't really know how long he's going to be out. He might miss game 2. That's what they've said. If he plays, the problem with this is just because a player is going to play a game doesn't mean they're going to be really effective. You've seen many times when players have went into games when they're not 100% and they haven't looked good whatsoever, like James Harden a couple years ago on the Nets against the Celtics, last year, because, not last year, 2 years ago, because they're not 100%, and at the end of the day, to be really effective, you need to be 100%. So we'll see what happens with Ja. If Ja's out for the next game, I think I got to chalk that up as a Lakers win.
Yeah.
Because as long as we're smart with our defensive pressure, and we need to cover Jaren Jackson Jr., who popped off last game, and cover the 3, I think we'll be good on the offensive end. And Ja Morant wasn't even that much of a factor during the game either, because Jared Vanderbilt did so well on him and didn't give him any space to do much whatsoever. So I'm really happy. I'm really excited. Anthony Davis's defense was incredible. He got like 5 blocks. And one of the biggest things I'm happy about too is D'Angelo Russell looked really bad. Like he had his worst game as a Laker in the play-in game against the Timberwolves, but he looked really solid this game, and I'm glad. I don't know if it was jitters. He just might have had a bad game, but he's back, which is awesome.
I don't know about LeBron, but he needs to stop, like, mostly every time he drives, he gets a point.
Yeah.
But he keeps taking these threes that he doesn't really need to take.
It's funny, too, because he takes threes the whole first half, misses every single one shot. Yeah. He hit a clutch one at that towards the end of the game to put him up 5. And it was really funny. I'm like, you take these. He only hits the clutch threes. He can't hit any other ones. But it's funny. One thing I did put like in my notes was LeBron needs to score more to beat better competition. I know the Grizzlies are a solid team, but we're talking about like the Celtics. I don't know about the Bucks now anymore, but you're talking about like the Celtics, the Sixers, the Nuggets. These top teams. LeBron's gonna have to score more because we can't rely on Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, who I think can be consistent players, but not just 20-plus scores every game. So LeBron needs to take it to the basket more. I completely agree with you. But if our role players keep stepping up, like Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, who I'm trying to think, why can't I don't know if you'd call D'Angelo Russell a role player. Maybe Malik Beasley. If Malik Beasley can hit threes, then I think we definitely win the series, and I'm really happy. I was pretty doubtful going into the game, to be honest, but they played great, and I think we're definitely a contender now. And they were saying this on the TNT, like with Charles Barkley, Shaq, Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, that the Lakers have the easiest playoff path in the whole West. If they beat the Grizzlies, then they play the winner of I'm not 100% sure who they play, but they said they had the easiest path, which is really significant because if you have an easy path, you win games. You don't have to play as many games. Your players are more rested. That just plays to your advantage. Yeah. But hopefully we can really make an example and beat the Grizzlies pretty quick.
Yeah, also, what are, like, Ja Morant, like, going down on a fast break, like, that's almost impossible to stop.
I know.
Like, I don't know what the Lakers players are thinking when they're, like, under the basket or
That's
anyone
true.
and Ja Morant's coming in. But also, AD, he just, like, put his hands up and he pretty much stopped Ja Morant on most of the fast breaks.
Anthony Davis is the reason why we have a chance to win the whole thing. We just needed him to stay healthy. And Jared Vanderbilt, though, another issue with the Lakers' defense, we're not great in transition defense, as you said.
Yeah, that's true.
But if we can get set up and like our defensive set, we're one of the best defensive teams in the whole league. But in transition, we have a great offense, but we don't have a great transition defense. And we just need to make sure we get set up and limit fast breaks. One play, I believe, might have been Austin Reeves shot the ball, or someone else shot the ball, and they got back and no one else got back. And they had like a 2-on-1 fast break because no one else got back. So we just need to fix those small errors, which I'm sure the coaching staff is working on. But I think I think we really got a chance here. What about you?
Yeah, definitely.
It would be cool. Lakers Celtics final. That'd be cool.
They need AD because AD when he was when he wasn't covering what's his name, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Like he kept scoring.
Yeah, every
he
time.
Was scoring. Like he was the only one on the court that could guard him.
Yeah, that's true. And Jaren Jackson Jr. Man, I didn't know he had it in him. I didn't know he could score that much. He couldn't miss though. He was taking threes too. He could hit it from everywhere on the floor. And Rui Hachimura, man, it was so funny. So Rui Hachimura, got the ball, and he's just like, I'm going to score. He backed down this person like Anthony Davis or LeBron would do and just faded away and nailed it. And it was awesome. It was so awesome seeing him do that. And yeah, that's pretty much the series. What are your predictions? What do you think? Who do you think's going to win and how many games?
Probably Lakers in 6.
I'm going to take Lakers in 5 because I'm being an optimistic fan, but I think yours is more reasonable.
You think the Grizzlies are only going to get one game on them?
No. I think here's what's going to happen. We're going to win the next game because Jaw's not going to be 100% out. Then they're going to go back to, the Grizzlies, Memphis, and they're going to win a game. They're, have a crazy record at home. It's really good. Then we're going to go back to LA and win. It's going to be 3-1, and then we're going to finish it off in Memphis. That's what I think is going to happen. But, we'll see. Next series. Now, this is the most interesting one because I thought the Warriors were going to have this easy, I'm going to be honest. But I guess not. Warriors versus Kings. Do you like any play? I like Wiggins on the Warriors. I love Wiggins. Do you like anyone on the Warriors?
Curry's just I feel like everyone likes Curry.
But I'm really happy for Kings fans because the Kings have one of the biggest playoff droughts in all of any sport. They haven't made the playoffs in 10, 12 years, I think, or something like that. But I'm so happy for you, Kings fans. You have so many great role players that can do well. Malik Monk popped off this game, and De'Aaron Fox is looking amazing. Domantas Sabonis didn't score in the 20s, which isn't bad, but you would hope that he would score 20s in the playoffs, and you still won. It was a hard-fought game. Both sides played really well. I think this is probably going to be the closest series because both teams are so equally talented. Who do you think needs to step up on the Warriors, though, to really win them the series?
Jordan Poole.
That's what I would do.
And Wiggins.
Yeah. Wiggins missed a shot towards the end of the game, less than a minute left to put the Warriors up 2. If he hit that shot, that would have been up 2. But then that led to a fast break, and the Kings got 2 points off of it, which put him up 3. So if Wiggins hits that shot, it could have been a different story. But, again, not everyone's going to hit every single shot. Wiggins could have done amazing that game. As I said before, it's going to be a very interesting series. De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis need to continuously do really well. And Malik Monk and other role players need to step up like they've been doing to really make a push to take the Kings far. And for the Warriors, you got to have your bench step up. You got to have Kevon Looney do more than he did today, at least on the offensive end. He's always going to be decent on defense, decent on the boards, but you need to have him step up. He only got 4 points. So if you're the Warriors, you just need your players to step up. You're going back to Golden State, so I think they'll get a win there. But the Kings, man, forced to be reckoned with, huh? They're looking really good. The last game we're going to talk about is the Phoenix Suns versus the LA Clippers. This was so interesting. It was a tale between 2 players, Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard came up on top. Everyone says don't mess with Kawhi in the playoffs, and they're right. Kawhi scored 38. He popped off the whole game. I mean, I thought Kawhi was a shell of himself, but when playoffs come around, he really pumps it up, huh?
Yeah.
I was concerned too, and I'm still really concerned for the Clippers because Paul George is going to be out the whole series, or maybe out the whole series, which really, really hurts them because Paul George is their second best player, obviously. And Kawhi just said, no, I don't care. I'm carrying this team on my back, and we're winning this series, and we're going to have Paul George come back next series or something like that. And it was awesome to see. Zubac and Westbrook did a really good job. Westbrook had like 8 points and 9 rebounds and 10 assists. So he looked amazing, and Zubac did well as well.
I don't get how a team loses to a team that doesn't have their second best player, is just overall better.
Yeah.
And they have, like, Durant, like, how tall is he? Like 6'11", guy that can shoot threes mid-range. Booker is just good at, like, everything. DeAndre Ayton, really good center, and CP3, like the smartest.
One of the best playmakers. Yeah. I mean, I would also like to retract something I said before. I mistakenly thought Bones Hyland was on the Nuggets. I apologize. I still saying the same statement that he has to be better to help his team win. But he's on the Clippers, and not the Nuggets. That is my bad. The problem, like what you said, all those players did really good.
Yeah.
KD did amazing. Booker did amazing. Aiden did amazing. Chris Paul didn't score a lot of points. He got 11 rebounds, though.
11 rebounds?
He's like 6 foot. And he got like 10 assists or something like that. The problem is they have no bench.
That's true.
They have their 5 people that played. Torrey Craig played amazing, too. So they had 5 people that played really well. And then they had Landry Shamet, who came off their bench, got like 22 minutes and only scored 4 points and do anything. And everyone, like the highest amount of points someone scored coming off their bench was 4 points. Ooh. That's the big problem. They have no depth because they traded all their depth to get Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. So they have to rely on their stars so much to do well to win these games. That's why I don't think they're going to go that far. Especially they're not going to win the title. Because how are you going to face a team like the Sixers or the Celtics in the finals and beat them with just one-on-one talent? Maybe the Sixers, because Sixers don't have as good depth. But how are you going to beat the Boston Celtics, who have Malcolm Brogdon, like Marcus Smart and Derek White, like interchangeably off the bench? And how are you going to beat them with Landry Shamet?
Yeah.
Or Cameron Payne? You know what I mean? It's not even close. It's not even a competition at that point. And the Suns were in a pretty bad spot, obviously. They got to bring people back, and it's just kind of a hot mess over there, in my opinion. They're still a really great team, and they still have a chance to win, but if they can't get their act together, especially with their bench, I don't know how far they're going to go. I think the Suns still have a chance to win the series. I think they could possibly even win it in like 6, but as I said before, I don't think it's going to be much competition for better and healthier teams once they play better and healthier teams. Like, if the Clippers have Paul George right now, it's not even close in my opinion, especially how the way Kawhi's been playing. What do you have to say about that?
They needed that first game. I don't think... That's
true, yeah.
I guess they can still win the series. I don't feel like they're going to win this series, though.
It was at home, too. It was at home.
If they lose the next game, they're not going to win.
I agree.
They need to win the next game or it's over.
And that really hurts Durant's legacy, too. You go to a team that's really good and can't even get out of the first round. I mean, talking about that. All right, well, that wraps up our game recap. We're just going to predict who we think is going to go to the finals and win the finals and how many games, and then we will wrap this episode up.
So just the finals, not the conference
Well, yeah, let's do conference finals first, and then we'll do finals. So who do you think is going to make it to the conference finals in the West and the East?
You want to go first?
Okay, I can go first. So personally, I'm going to take the Nuggets because they've been looking so good lately. I don't think the Clippers or Suns can make it. The Kings and Warriors have been playing really well. I don't think they're going to make it. I think you know who I'm taking. My Lakers, baby! Conference finals, one of the easiest routes to the conference finals, too. So I'm going to go Nuggets-Lakers, which ironically is what I said at the start of the season. I said it would be Nuggets-Lakers in the conference finals. And I believe the Lakers are going to win that series in, should I do 6 or 7? Let's do it in 7. 6. I'm going to believe the Lakers are going to win that series in 6.
Oh, wait, against the Nuggets?
Yeah.
It's like, then that's like
7?
4, and they're going to lose.
Anthony Davis got 5 blocks. He's going to lock up.
7.
He's going to lock up Jokic. You got more? He's going to lock up Jokic. Who do the Nuggets have that can do anything besides Jokic? Jamal Murray, please. Come on now. Who's going to cover LeBron on the team? Michael Porter Jr.? Funny. Anyway, Lakers in 6. I know everyone is disagreeing with me right now and yelling at me, but again, if you're a fan of a team, you'll take them to go far unless you're like a Chicago Bulls fan. No offense. No offense. Sorry, King in the fourth quarter. Sorry, Kenny. But in the East, I will take the Celtics to make it. Or no, because the Celtics play the Sixers if they win. So I'm gonna take the Sixers to make it, and I'll take. I mean, it's kind of pretty top heavy, and wouldn't you say, in like where it is right now. I'm trying to remember who's the 4 and 5 seed here. Knicks and Cavs. Ooh, this is really tough. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that Giannis comes back. I'll take Bucks and Sixers. Because if Giannis is back, I think they can make it to the conference finals. I'm going to take Sixers in the finals. So I'm going to take Sixers, Lakers to be my final 2.
All right, so in
the
conference that the Lakers are in, I'll go Nuggets.
Nuggets, Lakers, right?
Nuggets,
Lakers.
Clippers.
What?
Nuggets, Clippers.
Nuggets, Clippers. All right, you better be taking
Nuggets are going to win.
Okay.
Celtics.
How many games?
How many games?
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
And then the Celtics and the...
It can't be Sixers because they're going to play
each other. The Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics, Bucks. Celtics are going to win in, 6. Or Celtics are winning in 5.
Again, I don't know if your Nuggets prediction, if they're going to play each other before, but we'll just say they don't.
Yeah.
Celtics in 5. All right, for my East team, what did I say again? Sixers, Bucks?
Yeah.
I'll take the Sixers in 6 as well. So your finals are what? Celtics, Nuggets?
Yeah, and Celtics are going to win in 7.
7? Oh, wow. Don't have a lot of confidence in your team, huh?
I said they're going to win.
So I'm picking your team in 7, that's crazy, especially if you have confidence in them. I'm taking Lakers, and obviously Lakers going to win the series in 7 against the Sixers. I did the same thing you did. I think Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, that's going to be a great matchup to see. But again, I mean, PJ Tucker and LeBron James, that's actually a good matchup. Hard-fought series. I'm taking my Lakers because I have to, because I'm an optimistic fan, to win. So, but I think it would be really cool if it was a Celtics-Lakers final. That would be awesome. Yeah. With the old legacy. I think the NBA would have a lot of fun with that too. But yeah, do you have anything else to say?
No.
I think that wraps up this episode 7, I believe. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great day. See you later. Have fun watching basketball.